It's strange that even today, many classical musicians are not comfortable with the idea of vibrato in clarinet sound. They accept it in flute or oboe or bassoon playing, but somehow not with the clarinet. This might be because vibrato is very much associated with pop and jazz clarinet playing, so to some ears perhaps it doesn't sound quite classical. However, it seems that some of the great players of the past definitely used vibrato. Newspaper reports of the time state that Brahms' clarinetist, Richard Mühlfeld, used more vibrato than Joachim, the great violinist with whom he often performed. Reports of Mozart's clarinetist Stadler and Weber's clarinetist Behrman say that their clarinet playing was just like hearing a human voice singing. That surely would imply that they used some vibrato. When you're trying to sound like the human voice, I really think there's a case for using vibrato. On the clarinet, this is usually done with the lower lip. You can also do it with the diaphragm, as you would when you're playing the flute or with singing, but that's a bit harder to control. Try and make sure that the vibrato is part of the sound, not something that's been added on top. Sometimes there's a case for a wider vibrato, more of a saxophone type sound. How about in Malcolm Arnold's second concerto? In the last movement, Out of Nowhere, there comes a very poignant little tune. It sounds a bit like a tramp or a busker playing at the side of the road. Of course, in music that's inspired by jazz players, such as Copland's Clarinet Concerto, which was written for the great jazz player Benny Goodman, then it seems really right to use a bit of vibrato. You won't want to use vibrato all of the time, but it's important to remember that it's a very useful colour for enlivening the sound and making the clarinet sound as much like the human voice as possible.